Hello guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. Rimuru's journey for his beloved, Arifureta, from commonplace to world's strongest, by Sakura Arashi. Chapter 13, Flower Trouble. Hajime should fight. Yu said as they tried to run away from 200 incoming monsters. Currently, they were traversing through savage grass with Yu on his shoulder. The grass are actually taller than Yu, meaning if Hajime placed Yu down, you wouldn't be able to see her. What had happened was after Hajime finished resupplying, they managed to advance 10 more levels. Of course, Yu's magic played a massive role in their progression. Yu would use her magic to attack any incoming enemy, while Hajime would support Yu by using his own skills. Her barrier and recovery magic was not that great. Since she had auto-regen, she may have thought it was unnecessary. There was no problem because Hajime had his potion. Currently the floor therein had the appearance of a forest, an extensive forest. Lush and dense trees over 10 meters tall lined the forest, and the atmosphere was damp. Good thing it wasn't hot like the tropical forest level he encountered. While searching for a way out of the level, a sudden shake coming from the ground could be felt. When Hajime looked over at the source, there he saw a giant lizard that looked similar to a T-Rex, but this one had a flower on its head. Tyrannosaurus Rex gave out a roar and rushed at them. To this Hajime reacted by calmly taking out Donner. But before he could do anything, Yu raised her hand and muttered, "Scarlet Spear." Suddenly a flame appeared and took the form of a spear. The spear shot through the T-Rex's mouth and penetrated out the back. A rumble sounded as the T-Rex fell sideways onto the ground, and the flower on its head plopped onto the ground. Hajime stayed silent for a bit. These days Yu seemed to be intense. In the beginning, she would devote herself to covering Hajime. But now any monster that would appear, Yu would kill in an instant. He started to feel depressed at being useless. Is it because he dragged his feet and it was over before he could do anything? His mind was seized with anxiety. "Why, Yu, aren't you too enthusiastic about this?" Hajime said with a forced smile. But I want Hajime to see how useful I am." Yu doesn't seem to be happy with just covering Hajime. Yu wanted to keep showing off to Hajime. "Ha ha ha, don't worry, I know your magic is very powerful. But please take the rear, close combat isn't your strong suit. The front lines is for me." "Oh okay, I understand," Yu said as she looks at the ground. He smiled at Yu, who was trying too much to be helpful to Hajime. To show he didn't dislike her, he stroked her soft hair. Yu's expression returned to her usual mood. Hajime couldn't say anything. After a while, Hajime's perception detected something. Approximately 10 of them were coming towards them. From the movements of the leader, it seemed to be a two-tailed wolf. As Hajime started to rush one of the wolves, a 2 meters reptile dropped from the overgrowth in the trees. The reptile's appearance was similar to a raptor. There was a tulip blooming on its head. "Cute. Is it fashion?" Yu muttered to herself. Hajime turned his eyes towards the demon and took a guess at what the flower actually is. Shaw. Looking at Hajime, who was with its flower, the raptor pounced at him. Hajime jumped up, and using Donner shot the tulip on its head. All parts of the flower scattered with the sound of gunfire. The raptor seemed to twitch for a moment. It rolled as it failed its landing. "Did it die?" asked Yu. "No, it's alive." Just as Hajime said, the raptor soon got up, and when it saw the fallen tulip on the ground, it started to stomp it, not giving a care to its enemies. Why is it reacting like that? Maybe it was pranked?" Yu added. "No, this is not like some schoolchild and a paper on the back saying 'kick me.'" After the raptor stomped on the flower for a while, the raptor turned and noticed Hajime startling it. "Did you see that? This probably means he was under some kind of control? So it's bullying after all." Yu added. The raptor stared at Hajime and Yu before turning its head and just running away. Not 5 minutes later, Hajime started sensing a vast amount of demons. They were gathering from all directions. His perception range was at a 20 meters radius, and all the demons he sensed was coming straight for them. "I am picking up 30, number 40 monsters heading our way. Someone seems to be ordering them to surround us in all directions." "Do we run?" she asked. "No, it's better to exterminate them now. Let's get up to the tallest tree and beat them from there." Moving at high speed, they quickly went to find the highest tree in the area. They destroyed the branches that could help the demons climb upwards. After patiently waiting for a while, the monsters finally appeared. The first batch of monsters to arrive was not Juot raptors but T-Rexes as well. The T-Rexes were ramming the tree, while the raptors were using their talons to climb the tree. Hajime started shooting at the climbing raptors, and after emptying Donner he threw an incendiary grenade towards all the monsters. Soon, an additional 30 raptors and 4 T-Rexes have gathered under their eyes. They were attempting to smash the tree Hajime was on, or climb up to attack him. Hajime, not yet, just a little more, Hajime answered Yu, while he was shooting down at the raptors. She continued to concentrate on her magic barrage, as she believed in him. Yu. Hi. Freezing hell. The second Yu casted her magic, all the area below them, like the spell had said, froze everything. The monsters were covered in ice like they were in a coffin. Ha. Good job, vampire princess. Hee hee. Hajime said, praising Yu while she just laughed if embarrassed. After using that magic, Yu had ran out of magic and fell to her knees. He sat down beside her and placed a hand on her hips to support her, and presented his nape to allow her to recover by drinking his blood. Suddenly Hajime's expression dropped to being grim as he sensed even more monsters coming at them. Yu, this is bad, there are about 200 more coming at us. We just eliminated this many and yet there's still 200 of them attacking us? Yeah, it must be a parasite, maybe by that flower, Hajime said, and Yu just nodded in agreement. There should be a main body, but seems that as long as those flowers are on them, they are puppets. We're up against all the monsters on this floor. Before Hajime and Yu could be crushed by the sheer numbers of the monsters, they decided to move, but Yu wouldn't be able to suck blood while they move. Suddenly Yu stretched both her hands out towards the confused Hajime and says, Hajime. Carrie, how old are you? Are you trying to suck my blood while we move? Hajime was right. Yu nodded her head to answer him. Magical power recovery was slow for Yu with the sacred water. He consented to carrying her, because it would get in the way. He gave her a piggyback ride, as he started his search for the main body. And this is how we end up with the current situation. They were being chased by close to 200 demons. The thicket was troublesome. Yu had already finished her meal, but she didn't get off his back. Monsters started getting closer to them. Raptors travel side by side while hiding in the tall grass, and pouncing from all directions. Hajime avoided what looked suspicious and kept running. While Yu used her magic, not allowing them to be overwhelmed by the sheer numbers of the incoming monsters. Kapu. Shoo. Sounds of Yu sucking blood. Hajime had noticed a pattern to the monsters' movements. Their movements would become violent when they attempted to escape in a certain direction. As if they were trying to lead them away from there. They decided to rush in that direction because the demons were increasing in number and they couldn't stay in this situation. Kapu. Shoo. Yu, can you stop sucking my blood every 5 seconds? Can't do. I am tired. Lies. You aren't exhausted anymore. In spite of the situation, Yu was obsessed with Hajime's blood. It was not odd that a former royalty couldn't control themselves. In front of them they saw a cave with a little crack big enough for them to fit inside. The T-Rex of course couldn't fit inside, while the raptors could only enter one by one. Hajime quickly used his transmute to shut the entrance of the cave, not letting the raptors enter suddenly. From all direction, an innumerable amount of green ping-pong balls flew in. Yu and Hajime was instantly back to back, and intercepting the flying balls. Hajime decided to create a stone wall because of the number that exceeded 100. The wall was strong enough to prevent the balls from piercing it. Seems like the balls didn't have that much power. Yu, I am pretty sure it's an attack coming from the main body. Do you know where it is? Yu. Hajime was asking Yu because she had a better perception skill than him, meaning her senses are sharper. But Yu not answering concerned Hajime. Run, Hajime. Yu shouted. When Hajime turned to Yu, he saw her holding her hands towards him, and suddenly all his instinct were telling him to dodge. This caused Hajime to violently jump to the left. A blade of strong wind passes the place where Hajime used to be, destroying the place where Hajime was. Hajime wanted to raise his voice at the surprise attack, but he understood when he saw what was on her head. There was a blooming flower on Yu's head. Damn it. I let my guard down. Yu surely was almost immortal. However, he couldn't deny that she might have a spell that could disintegrate her and prevent her regen. Yu would be able to fire it at an instant too. He wanted to avoid the gamble of a suicide attack like what the monsters were doing earlier. Out of nowhere a monster appeared behind Yu. It looked like a mix of a woman and a plant came out. It was similar to a dryad. There is a legend that dryads brings good luck, if not hostile, and they were beautiful women. But the one in front of him did not give that impression. Indeed, it looked like a human woman, but it had an ugly face like its inner ugliness was overflowing. It also had countless vines waving around, and it felt creepy. You've got some nerves. To expose yourself I am gonna kill you, Hajime said. Hajime was about to shoot the monster when he saw Yu moving in front to block his attack. Just shoot me, Hajime. Yu had prepared herself for this. If she couldn't control herself then she would rather have Hajime shoot her. She put that kind of wool into her eyes that watched Hajime. Really? Well, that makes it easier. Bang. The sound of gunshot could be heard as Hajime shot Yu the second he heard her say that. Yu was blinking her eyes with surprise. The dryad-like monster was linking its eyes with surprise. To confirm it was gone, Yu placed both her hands on her head. There was blonde hair that had frizzled or were torn off. Bang. Another gunshot could be heard as he shot the dryad monster in the head, blowing its head off. So, Yu, are you fine? No discomfort? Hajime confirms Yu's safety with a laid-back feeling. However, Yu is glaring at Hajime while stroking her head. You shot. Huh? Well, you did tell me to shoot? You didn't even hesitate. Well, I was confident with my aim, so I thought it would be okay. My scalp was shaved off a little. Well, that shouldn't be a problem since it'll probably regen. Idiot. Yu started to hit Hajime's stomach repeatedly with a face that said, you didn't even hesitate for a second. Indeed, she told him to shoot, and she had prepared herself. But Yu is a woman. She had seen some dreams. He should have at least hesitated a little. At such a light response, she wanted to complain. Hajime sighed inwardly. How was he going to fix the mood? This would be harder than beating that monster.